Hola, whizzy wizards, and welcome back to the pursuit of happiness with me, Pigtail Girl, your friend and fellow traveller. I've been feeling a bit of out of sorts lately. I've been feeling a bit weird, a bit sort of, I think I'm getting a bit short-tempered with it all. You just had enough BS for like so long. I think after a while it sort of wears you down a little bit. And I have to admit, on my pursuit of happiness that I am on, the energies of late have left me feeling annoyed more often than not. It's just there's so much silly in the world. And as someone who really loves truth and is obsessed with finding truth and really believes truth is so important for humanity to really understand who we are and where we're going and to get into our power. And you can't really be in your power until you know the truth of what that power is and how to use it and who you are and what you're doing here. But there's just so much silly in the world. And then on top of that, you've got all of the bleeping. And I was just thinking how just the energy of knowing that I can't really say what I want to say in things like this, it affects me. It affects me here, like even just saying it, I feel it here. And it's very annoying because, you know, of course, something just happened in the world and a bullet headed towards Trump. And thank God he moved his head and, you know, just grazed his ear. And, you know, just even want to discuss those topics. It's like, I think after a while, having lost so many things and getting bleeped so many times, it's almost like, yeah, I was noticing I don't even want to talk about things anymore. It's like, you know, when you just give up on a relationship, it's the hostility of the environment feels as an empath just all very toxic to me. And then actually, as I was feeling that way, don't know if anyone else is relating to this, I'm just saying, in case people are relating and are feeling it too, I then lost my Facebook account. Grace Hope is gone. It was nice knowing you, Grace, whoever that was. But yeah, it was just like I could fit it. It's been building up in me. I'm incredibly empathic, and I feel everything. So just being attached into social media and feeling all of the feelings and hearing all of the voices, it was becoming a bit much for me. And like I wanted to talk about some of the silly, you know, because I can't talk about certain political things because, well, everything gets bleeped this time of year and you lose everything. Been there, done that. But God bless you, Trump. Hope you're okay and hope your angels keep on protecting you and America and freedom and democracy. But yeah, some of the silly stuffs that I just thought I wanted to address today that I've seen in discussions on social media lately that I just think humans, it's really time to really start becoming more intelligent, just to become a little bit more right, left brain balanced. Because some of the things people say, they don't even make any sense, right? And when you really listen to it, it's so annoying that it's like watching a Nigerian romance scammer when they are telling their victim all this nonsense. You can see it so clearly, like, this is nonsense. It's a scammer. But the people are happily selling their houses, think they get married, sending all their money off to them. In Nigeria, I've been watching Catfished on YouTube. Check it out; it's brilliant. Catfished, and there are some other channels linking to that where they show you how scammers work. But it's really good because you need to know how scammers work. It's so important because there's so much scamming going on in the mainstream, but also in the truther movement. It's another reason why I sort of, you know, I don't even relate to that scene anymore because it's just so awash with absolute nonsense. So secret space program, most of that is utter nonsense. If I wouldn't even say, yeah, 95%, if not all of it, it's nonsense. And why I know most of this is nonsense, right? Let me just give some examples that really wind me up. People who claim they've been in 20 and back space programs, 20 and back. And they've all got different stories. Oh, now there's 13 and back and they're slaves and they're somewhere off and then they get returned to their lives so they can go on YouTube and talk about it. I mean, just think about that. You're a negative group of aliens who enslaves people, steals them from Earth. You're going to take them off to do all this stuff, but then you're going to waste your time and your energy putting them back where you found them so they can then go on and, you know, go on YouTube and talk about it all. I mean, just using the logical brain, Does that really sound like it would be a thing? Right? Evil minions. Can you imagine Darth Vader now kidnapped you as a child to put you into enslavement with Jabba the Hutt or whatever? And Jabba the Hutt's just going to look at you after 10 years and go, oh, yeah, I'm just going to take some of my resources and I'm going to, some of them say they get time traveled back. So you can't notice they've ever gone, right? I'm going to waste all my technology and energy on you and then put you back into place. And then I'm not going to care. You can off you go, do YouTube videos and spend 20 years doing the circuit. You know, once you start to realize scams, you start to look at that as you would like a Nigerian romance scam. And some people may very well have gone through some sort of trauma where some things people can actually brainwash you in cults and put trauma memories into your brain or make you think something traumatic that you kind of actually remember is something else. So I'm not saying there aren't a lot of traumatized people that might have actually been through something that might then start having delusional thoughts about what they've been through because other people are egging them on. That, you know, that can be a thing. But there's also just the scammers, the ones that are there for the money. They're just there to jump on a bandwagon. And it all goes back to these Corey Goods and Kerry Cassidy and all the bullshit purveyors with no discernment whatsoever and absolutely no discernment, nothing really going into fact checking or, you know, getting any details other than there's a load of other people now saying the same thing. But just look at it. It doesn't make any sense. And this is what humans really need to start waking up to, stuff that doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make sense. Probably not true. Doesn't make sense. Not true. Jabba the Hutt is going to keep you, use you up till you're dead and bury you. Not going to waste any energy giving you a nice life, putting you back so you can go on the circuit. That's how you know it's bullshit. So anyway, I'm secret space program, bullshit. And if anyone had anything real to say, you've got to understand, it's full of just shills. Common delusionals, mentally ill people, outright liars, and then a few people who've actually really experienced or seen something, but those would be different. It's like most of the top ones, like Bob Lazar, liars, you know, and some of them are just professionals, you know, the gatekeepers, they're there to give you a few little crumbs and then make up all the rest, the shills, right? They're shilling it. And then there's just the outright liars like Corey Good who just sell you something because they want money. They haven't got a degree or they haven't got a job and they want an expensive lifestyle like everyone else. And they just need to come up with some scam like a Nigerian romance scammer, got to scam that money. Right, because there's scammers everywhere. Not I call it Nigerian romance scam. Lots of very nice romancers, Nigerian people. Of course, they're not all those scammers groups, and scammers are everywhere in every country. It's just that romance scam thing seems to be coming from Nigeria quite a lot. No offense to any nice, honest Nigerian people, of course, but scammers are everywhere. Scammers are in England, scammers are in America, scammers are male, they're female, they come from all backgrounds. Plenty of scammers out there. So I would say just come to the conclusion, SSP, most of it is scammy nonsense with maybe a few little drip breadcrumbs of something factual from somewhere just there to suck you in and make you go to the conferences and believe in utter nonsense. So that's been, yeah, that's all to me. But I've been enjoying watching Skinwalker Ranch. Now there's the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. That's some interesting data right there. And I definitely listen to people who talk to me about their own UFO experiences or weird dreams and stuff like that. And another thing is like channelers. This is another thing that winds me up. You know that. Bashar and yeah, whatever, all these channelers. I saw an argument the other day. Someone was asking, why don't scientists ask these aliens that get channeled serious mathematical or scientific questions and put those to the test? Why is it always just these mushy stuff where they can answer like any Indian guru? You know, if you've listened to Osho or you read some books, some Indian guru, you can come up with all that stuff. Bashar just repackages it and regurgitates it all. And of course, his avid fans will be like, he's wonderful, he changed my life. Yeah, you changed his life too. He's loaded now. But someone was arguing, oh yeah, but these highly intelligent space entities that are using these humans to channel, they can't tell you anything above the intelligence level of the channel. Does that make any sense to you? What would be the point then? If something highly intelligent can only talk to you to my level of intelligence using my knowledge and my personality, there is 0 point in having that communication. You might as well talk to me. Why wouldn't you talk to me then about it? Now, these things, I just see them as so disempowering to humans. We shouldn't be hanging on words of these supposed beings that we never see and never get to meet. And there's no, proof to back up their existence, given to us by people often related to acting, hypnosis, Hollywood, sci-fi. They're all often in that whole scene, like the Scientologists, the Bashar, when you look in their backgrounds, very imaginative, good at improvisation type people, but still conning you out of your money, but telling you, like the romance scammers, people love what the Nigerian romance scammers tell them. In fact, they even if it's a scam, part of them loves it so much, they'd probably be willing to just pay someone to give them that service anyway, because they need it. Oh, how you doing, my queen? Have you eaten? And these people are so starved of affection, just like someone wooing them and telling them all the right things. It's like a Mills and Boomson. It's like they're dying for it. And they actually say often that they got so much out of the experience. It's the same when you go to listen to Bashar, right? He's romance scamming you, right? And you've got the SSP, it's all nonsense. Then you've got these new age stuff and all the channelers, utter nonsense. You've got that Eleanor Danan, what's her face, anyone to do with Michael Salah, nonsense, big. So that's my sound off today. Truth for Movement and the whole UFO disclosure scene to do with secret space program and any channelers. And I guess this is my little way of trying to make myself feel like I've expressed something real and true out into the world. I don't have all the answers, but I certainly can spot the non-answers. And it doesn't take much discernment to just look at something and go, this doesn't make any sense. And then don't try to make it make sense. That's the thing. Don't try to fit something to a narrative because you'd like it to make sense, because you want, when you're looking for truth and facts, be vigilant. You've got to go for truth and you've got to go for facts. And what I like to do, as just my personal thing with truth, is I always ask, is this true? Please reveal to me. Every day I say, please reveal to me and strip me of all deceptions, delusions, all untruths, non-truths. Show to me anywhere, place where I lie to myself, or where I am being lied to, or where I am wrong, or where my eyes have not seen clearly. And I ask on everything I'm looking at, everything I'm thinking about, I'm always tuning myself in to the truth. And this is like my kind of spiritual practice now. I've found over the years, I've just switched off most of this. The truth scene is just, it's all a distraction lie. Truth is a frequency, and you can communicate with it. And you can tap into it the same way you can tap into anything. It's a part of the divine. The truth is always in the divine energetic. It's a divine frequency truth. And so you can tune into it like you do tune into any frequency, solfeggio frequency, frequency on your radio, and being vigilant. It doesn't mean that I'm always right or I always get the truth right away. What it means is when I'm wrong, the truth finds a way to let me know that I'm wrong about that, or to tell me to rethink it, and it's because I keep asking. And you really can start to just see through so much bullshit. It's just, it's like, it is a swamp. It's like swimming through bullshit. And just when, you're looking for answers, it's just more bullshit. And then you have to sit there once you start seeing through all the bullshit, seeing all the other people still going on about the bullshit, sending you their bullshit links. Oh, we check this bullshit out. Check this bullshit out, pigtail girl. Some more bullshit for you. No, been there, done that. I'm not looking for rabbit holes forever, all that nonsense. I'm going to demand the truth comes to me, finds me. When I want the truth, I'm going to keep asking. I'm going to be so vigilant with myself and make sure that I don't have any. I'd rather not believe in anything than have a deception lying within me. So I do that with everything. And anyone I'm still following today, years later, it's because they are the last people standing in my ripping everything to shreds to get to truth. So well done to everyone who I still follow out there. I consider you bringers of some level of truth. You are quite few and far between, though. I mean, let me tell you some people that I do like. Obviously, Starfighter, because I work with her. I don't work with people who I don't respect for their integrity and honesty, and they go through very rigorous grillings with me. I have so many levels of testing truth out. So they're passing the test, they're doing well. So there's her. And then there's a David Oates. I like him. He's honest, he's truthful. He's a man who's doing his thing. And he's honest in his work and in his word. And I like Paul Wallace and Mauro Biglino when they look into the history to do with Elohim. And again, I might not come from a Christian viewpoint on things or a very religious background, but I do believe there's some truth in the story of the ETs in our past. So I do like to listen to them. They speak some sense and they're scholars. They can back up, you know, what they're saying. They're not channeling anyone who can only talk to me from their intelligence level. And I have to pay £400 a ticket. No. But maybe it feels so good. Yeah, and I like to watch those scam shows. Catfish, they teach all about scam artists and how they work and how they profile you to sell you the exact story that they think you want to hear. And then they know how to milk that cow. I mean, this scam behavior, it goes on throughout society, you know, from politics right down to the little scammer on the phone or making their YouTube vids. But what I like about David Oakes is he gives you as well another tool to find out truth, because I'm a sound engineer and I've done reverse speech on myself. And this is why I didn't discount. At first, I kind of discounted him when I first saw him. I thought, oh, that sounds silly. Reverse speech, that's some satanic thing in rock music people, Christians used to go on about. But then I looked into it. It kept coming around, see, because when I'm looking for truth, it will keep coming around like, oh, you haven't looked at this yet. You didn't give it enough time. And then as a sound engineer, I was able to go and listen to myself speak about something and lo and behold, find reversals in my own speech. So the reversals are quite clear and I'm quite good at finding them. And they were very obvious and they were related to, as a healer, I could tell they were directly related to the subject I was discussing. So to me, I've proven to myself that reverse speech is a thing and it's there because I can do it myself and you could do it yourself. You can get a software, Audacity, you can just reverse, you can record and reverse into that. In effects, you can reverse, you can select the file and then press reverse. You can also slow it down so you can hear it at a different tempo. And that's a free software, Audacity. So that's what I love. I love things that you can go home and go, oh, this is true because I know I've proven it to myself and I can do it over and over again and I still get the same result. I might not understand fully all the reversals, and that's where maybe with David Oakes, you know, he's had to try to understand from his own viewpoint what the reversals mean. So that could be a discrepancy that people could argue about what words they heard or what the true meaning of. So it's not like it's a completely fail-safe, you know, art form. It's open to interpretation, right? Like music. And sometimes the reversals, you know, you hear one thing, someone else hears another. But some of them are completely just unambiguous. They're just like, meh, in your face, undeniable. So, oh, I do still listen to Cliff High. I do enjoy a bit of Cliff on his little podcast. And I do like to listen to the big guy. I forget his name now. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Begins with J. I know because Joe Rogan. I do like to listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. Not all of them, just some of them, because I just feel like he just lets his guests have their say, which I really like. And I like Graham Hancock as well. I've never got a bad vibey thing from Graham Hancock, and I am enjoying The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch. And seeing as I've got you here and I'm actually blah-de-blahing today, it's been a while. My thoughts on Skinwalker Ranch. Oh, I drink, hold on. Right. Oh gosh. And the thing is, once you start seeing all the bullshit, it kind of puts you outside the circle again. You're a black sheep looking in at everyone on the truth scene, believing all this stuff, and you're like, it's all bullshit, flat earth nonsense, Corey Good bullshit, 20 and back. What are you talking about? None of it makes sense. You're wrong. Sorry. To quote Blair White, feel free to disagree, but you'll be wrong. It's like some of the things people are like, oh, we'll have to agree to disagree. I believe this, you believe that. I don't believe it. Some of the things I'm telling you, I know this is wrong. It's not like I believe it's wrong. There are certain things, not everything, that I know are wrong. It's quite different to believe something and to know something. But there's certain things you can know if they're right or wrong. You can know. And it's like on the Catfish. At first, the person doesn't believe that this guy who they're marrying is really just a lie. And it's like they don't want to hear it. And I've seen them like give them proof and they're like, well, you know that. And they're making excuses for it and how it could be this and it could be that. It's like, no. And then right at the end, you see the penny finally drop and they're like, oh no, they're right. He's scamming me. And of course, they're heartbroken. It's horrible to feel like you've been lied to, and it makes you angry. I've got angry about the truth of scene lying to me again. I got out of the mainstream into truth scene, and then to find out it's all a load of bullshit. And it's like, you know, you don't want to be in a religion, you get into new age stuff thinking you found something cool, and then you realize it's all a load of bullshit. It's like, that's why I've left everything, all beliefs gone, no dogma, no beliefs, things that I have experienced in my real life or I can prove to myself. And of course, I still have some dogma and theories in there somewhere. Of course you do. Not beyond some of it being filling in the blanks, right? I have certain opinions, but I know the difference between those and the things I know to be a fact, right? I know the difference, and it's good to know the difference of what is opinion, what is assumption, what is belief, and what is fact. They're not all the same thing. And some truths are just truths, and it's not open to an interpretation, right? So I am a woman. That's just a truth. That's not open for an interpretation. I get my period to prove it, and I've had children. You know, that's what I mean. There's certain things that it's a truth. It's not open to your what you want to identify as, what your fantasy is or something. It's like, I've got hair, I've got blue eyes, and I'm a female. There you go. Facts, truths. But getting back to Skinwalker Ranch, yeah, it's really time for humans to get the truth vibe. I am just all about the truth. I'm waiting for that truth. There is going to be a moment soon, though, where that truth is going to hit so hard, everyone's going to have to accept it. And it's not going to be my truth. It's going to be our truth. I don't care what the truth is, but we're getting it, and it's coming. But things are going to get a little shitty. And this is another feeling I've had, is a shitty feeling, like that feeling of things have to get a bit more shitty before they get a bit better kind of feeling vibe as well. But anyway, again, getting back to Skinwalker Ranch. So Skinwalker Ranch, you know the story of the Skinwalker, right? And now this was maybe 1800s, you're looking at a long time ago, tribal people, very backward. So these things, like, you've got some aliens, right? Their craft is under the ground. They don't want you to go there, and they want you to touch it. So what they do is they make some like silicon paw prints like that. They wear some silly wolf thing, like they call, oh, it's a skinwalker. Sometimes it looks like a humanoid, then it looks like a wolf. It's like just like a costume, man. They're making footprints, and they're probably terrorizing the animals. And I bet my life that they will never get that creature on the camera, right? It's never going to appear. They're not going to get any footage of it because it's make-believe. It's a story that they probably use, the ETs that craft under the ground there belongs to. I'm only on season 4, so I might be wrong about what they find under there or whether they ever say what they find. But in my mind, it's a craft that's hidden or buried in the ground. And the Skinwalker story was given to keep the natives off the land, like sort of stay away. And it probably worked for some years because, you know, the Native Americans would have believed in those stories. And then, you know, the Navajo have claimed that they did the curse and it was all on them. You know, it's like me trying to make myself look all big and powerful. And, you know, just in their little skirmishes and battles. And yeah, it just came to me. I just looked at it and I thought, yeah, this is they thought they were tricking the locals, like the backward locals, making out like that. So that Skinwalker is not a real creature. It's not a shapeshifter. It's not a native curse. It's an alien jumping around pretending to be a wolf. And if it's not an alien, it's a human from the government doing it to scare people off for some reason. But my money is probably on the aliens. So there was that. That's what I had my opinion on the creature, the Skinwalker. I think that maybe 200, 300 years ago, when you wanted to keep humans away from something, if you created a chupacabra or a Skinwalker, it would be very easy to scare them enough, because they're very superstitious, to stay away. And it's always the cattle that get hurt and very rarely humans there, which I find interesting. Because it makes me feel like, at first I thought maybe it was negative aliens who'd hidden something there. But if it's negative aliens, it's interesting that they never really hurt the humans. I mean, I know they've had some things because of the radiations, but I don't know if that's the desire or if that's just a side effect. And one of the reasons they've tried to create stories to keep humans off that land, because they know that the security systems that protect it from other aliens finding their craft and stealing it will affect them negatively. So maybe they've tried to put out bad press and keep the humans away, but in a way where they don't want to sort of let the full cat out the bag. So I'm thinking they might just be either neutral or good guys. I'm not so sure they are. My first reaction, you see, it's me and my pa, is just, oh, it's Vol, it's DMA infested reps. But then I kept watching. I thought, well, it's funny because they don't make the helicopters fall out of the sky and crash and everyone dies. They do little things that will annoy them or just stop them taking their readings or just stop them getting in. But then they all sort of go away safely, albeit some of them get like little radiation burns. But again, they didn't listen to the stay off the ranch Skinwalker curse story, did they? So they've gone in there and now they're pressing all the buttons going beep, beep, beep. But you know, machinery lets off radiation. So there's some of my little thoughts that I've had on the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. If you have any thoughts on it, I'd love to hear them. Sorry if I've insulted all your belief systems today, but everyone really needs to start demanding the truth. Don't take my truth as your truth, but really be honest with yourself every day. Like, are you sitting in a dogma? Are you sitting in a belief system? Are you just are you educating yourself so you're even smart enough to know whether this maths is mathing or this science is sciencing, or you know, are you balancing your left and right brain enough to be able to discern correctly? You know, it's really important to be smart, and it's really important not to let yourself get scammed as much. Look, go and watch Catfish, go and watch the Nigerian romance scammers, see how cringe it is, and then think, do you want someone to do that to you? Even if it feels good, even if you like what they're saying, don't you deserve the truth? Like the full truth? Don't you deserve someone to talk to you who actually likes and respects you and isn't just trying to get cash out of your pocket as some scammer? I think you deserve a better frequency. I think you wizards deserve much more than that as God's children. I really wish the truth for everyone. Anyway, my loves, I will love you and leave you, and I will see you on the next episode of The Pursuit of Happiness. One love.